Welcome to the You Can't Afford Me podcast, where we skip the fluff and dive straight into the grind. Real entrepreneurs, real struggles, and the unfiltered journey behind success. Let's get into it. Hey guys, thanks for joining us on another episode of the You Can't Afford Me podcast. Now, this young man we have here, I think is going to bring a lot of insight to some people listening to this episode. I would say he's just getting started, but I'm so impressed with the systems and the models that he's put in place. And the biggest thing I've noticed about this young man since the time I've known him is that he's just a sponge for knowledge. I'm like, anytime someone's around, I think you grabbed a book from my office, the people that I've seen you hanging out with, I'm like, this kid's going places. So today we got Jeremiah on the podcast. Jeremiah, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man.
So grateful to be here.
And a strong biblical name. We both got biblical names.
Hey.
Samuel and Jeremiah. So you know it's about to go down. So real quick, give everybody some insight. In 60 seconds, tell us who you are and what you do.
Yeah, I'm Jeremiah Schwartz. As Sam's telling, I'm young, but I'm an entrepreneur and just super hungry. Currently, I run an AI automations business where we help service-based businesses pretty much become automated so they can focus on real tasks that need their attention and let AI handle the rest.
Beautiful. So my goal at the end of this podcast is that anybody, how old are you?
17.
Dang, I was thinking you were 20 or something like that. 17. Okay. So this is for anybody that's in high school and college, and we're going to get rid of all the excuses you may have for starting a business talking with Jeremiah today. So number one, when did this entrepreneurial bug come to you? At 17, were you thinking about entrepreneurship at 11?
I don't think I was necessarily looking for it.
Yeah.
But I was super curious, and I would do different things like reselling.
What'd you resell? Sneakers?
Just it could be sneakers or just things I had in the items in the house that I was not using. But I also was told I was good at sales, and that was something that clicked to me. Personally, that if I could connect sales, and I connected sales with just freedom pretty much, and how sales you can make as much as you want with just the effort that you put in.
Yep.
And I also thought about just owning my own business, and I did that. I did a lot of digging through YouTube. I bought some courses too. I did TikTok Shop for a little bit. I just did a bunch of different things, and I failed. And then I found, AI automations with my now business partner. And it's just something I've enjoyed doing. And I get to use my personal skill of communicating sales to do it. So I'm just so grateful to be in a spot where I'm having it's just a start, but I'm just so grateful to be here.
Dude, man, I'm still tripping off the 17, man. Because the way you present yourself, the way you carry yourself, you do not carry yourself as a 17-year-old. I got to ask you, because if I could go back and redo it all, I wish I had your mindset at your age. I didn't become an entrepreneur until I was 30. And I think the average age for an entrepreneur is 44, is where most people start their own business. So for you, what's it been like with your friend circle? Because I know, especially at that age, your friends are the primary influence. And I can only imagine your friends are like, yo, let's go out Friday night or something like that. And you're like, no, I got to work on this business plan, or I just bought this course I need to go through. What's that been like for you?
It has been a lot easier than you would think, because my freshman year, I was given the opportunity to switch to online school. And pretty much that transformed everything. It gave me a lot of freedom to do my school whenever, but also work on my business, but also just pretty much within my business and within my, just balance it out. I think it's super hard when you go to school for a lot of, was it 8 or 7 hours or 7 to 8.
I think it's 8 because they structured it to look like what full-time employees.
Exactly. Yeah. And then you go home and you have to do homework, and then you have to, if you want to have a business, you start working on that. But I decided to switch to that, and I think it was my best decision because I got even ahead academically. I'm actually a sophomore right now in college as well. So, yeah. So I'm just crushing it. I'm just trying to get things done because I'm just super passionate. I would say I'm a high achiever. So
let me ask you that first, the decision to go to online school, was that because you wanted to be an entrepreneur, or you just saw the more of a benefit to that versus going in person?
I started reading books. I think it was around. It wasn't thinking. It was How to Win Friends and Influence People. Yes,
Phenomenal book.
Yeah, that was a book I read, and I started I started my algorithm on like social media. Started being like how it's making you to become like employees within school.
Yeah.
And I just felt such a time suck, just going to school for that long when I know like there's a lot of things that happen in school that are out of your control, like fights and stuff that just don't allow you to focus on your education. So I thought it was probably just a smart idea. And even within that, I actually got to travel to Europe with my family. So we went for 3 months over to Europe, and I got to experience a different lifestyle pretty much. And that kind of led to also the entrepreneurship bug of freedom. And then that's where I met my business partner as well. So it's a win-win.
And things are way different overseas than they are here. Like here, it's like you got to hustle, you got to grind. There, certain countries, like towns are shut down on Sundays. Like you can't do anything but relax. I've heard in some countries it's actually illegal for your boss to contact you past 5 p.m. Like they can get fined or a ticket or something like that if they contact employees past that time period. Now, with the in-school or the at-home learning, what does that look like in terms of like hours? So instead of like spending 8 hours at a school building, how long does it take you to get your schoolwork done?
I usually do it crushing 2 hours, just focus.
I was about to say 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah, 2 to 3 hours. I focus. I got this brick thing. It's like this device that you can scan your phone and it locks up like social media apps. And I usually put that somewhere, or I put my phone downstairs. I just usually focus on school. And then after that, I have the rest of the day to just go get after it.
Bro, where did this discipline come from, man? Because teenagers are not this disciplined. Like, what was it? Your grandparents or your parents? Like, who fed into you like this?
Like what you said, I'm a sponge for knowledge. So I looked at a lot of people, I would say, and a quote something that I really resonate, that I also work at the country club as well, Country Club of Virginia, on the golf pros, told me was everybody you meet is important. You can learn something from them, right? You can either learn something good or bad from them. You don't have to necessarily apply everything that you learn from them.
Yep.
And I started long before the conversation, but I started looking at a lot of people, and I thought I just didn't want that life. I want a different life. I live once, right? So I want to live as healthy as I can be. I want to impact the world. I think that's kind of what my why is, and I've put that as when I'm working through something, I always remember that. It's not always monetary. I think a lot of us hold that. It's like, oh, I make $10,000 this month. Or maybe even $100K. I know people doing that.
Yeah.
And they just want to spend it on clubs and just
dumb stuff.
And I'm trying to make, generational. So I'm thinking about very tactical within. I want to get into real estate and do all that kind of stuff.
Dude, I don't want to keep hyping you up and get your head any bigger, man. But like, I'm blown away, dude. Like, I know 50-year-olds who don't talk the way you do. And I think the biggest thing you have going for you is you have a massive head start on everyone. Because just that mentality, most people don't figure out what they want to do for the rest of their life till they're in their 40s. That's why I told you before that the average entrepreneur is like 44 or something like that. So most people get halfway through their life before they figure it out. You haven't even gotten to a quarter of your life.
Exactly.
And you already have these things mapped out. So number one, just like identifying where your passion lies, what makes you happy. Like, that gets you ahead of the game. Whatever the vehicle is, because at the end of the day, like, no one's ever gotten wealthy from a salary. It's from investing and it's from ownership. Like, that's the only way that you can become wealthy or get rich is by owning stuff. So that's one thing I look back now and I'm like, man, it didn't matter what the vehicle was. As long as you have the knowledge, if you have some sort of cash flow coming in, I don't care if you're investing $25 a week or, you're getting in with the buddy's company and you're just taking equity and you're putting in sweat equity to get a percentage of that company. Like, just do something. So you're so far ahead, dude. Like, man, I'd be a billionaire if I was thinking the way you did at 17. All right, so past that, and then you said something about algorithms too I wanted to touch on. What did you say about your algorithms in terms of what you're seeing on your news feed?
It pretty much, I started, I guess, liking more things that resonated to me, and that kind of allowed me to stay disciplined.
Yeah.
Right. Sometimes I see Alex Hormonzi, and
That's the homie.
Yeah, he'd be clocking me sometimes. Or it could be like Gary V as well. I think Jeremy, he's a sales guy. I don't know, I'm blanking on his last name. But
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, Jeremy, he's a big like sales guy. And I also just see other people my age as well, right? That kind of just inspires me, but I'm not really.
Yeah, who's that one guy who runs around asking people like, "Hey, when did you first become a millionaire?"
Yes, I love that. Yeah,
that guy.
School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah, that dude has built an insane
favorite YouTube channel. I love watching him. That's also like your choices that you can make, right? What you watch and what you feed. So I like to watch a lot of those type of things when I'm watching anything. Yeah. It's something that I can learn, right? I don't want to just rot my brain.
See, and you figured out another piece. Like a lot of people think, because I hear so many people, especially in my field, is like social media is such a time suck. I'm like, no, you created the algorithm doesn't control you. You control the algorithm. So like if you don't like what you're seeing on your feed, go search whatever topic you want to see more of. Go engage with the reposts. And I guarantee you the next time you get back on your news feed, you're going to see more content with that. But the fact that you've even curated your social media to continuously feed your brain, like you're not getting trapped into all the dumb stuff that a lot of other people your age are doing. Like, dude, it's phenomenal what you're putting together. Now let's talk about this vehicle that you – actually, no, before we get there, because initially I met you through Nikki Bakes.
Yes, sir.
So talk about that, because that was – one of the first reasons like I wanted to feed into you and give you some time, because I saw you just hanging out with the OGs who knew what was going on and were like, yo, I'm just going to feed off this guy. So how did you get connected with Nikki, and like what are the things that you've been able to get an education from him on?
Yeah.
And shout out to Nikki. Nikki was one. I think he was on the first episode of last season. We're on season 4 with the podcast now. He was the first episode of season 3, I think.
Yeah, he's a beast. He's a killer. He's a family friend. So he actually, my family, or my mom specifically, was big on flipping houses. So he did a lot. He helped us with a lot of projects. And then he became more just like an important figure to me. Yeah. He obviously has a little bit of drive of becoming an entrepreneur as well within his food business. But he's just super outgoing. I love how charismatic he is. Mm-hmm. That's something that I love. Just it's hard to see that nowadays. People genuinely care about somebody.
Yes.
He wants the best out of everybody. He wants you to be successful, and pretty much, yeah. Even that, like I like to engage with older people. It's kind of, I told my mom this. It's kind of led me to different, like with my friend groups. A lot of my friends are a lot older than me.
That's good, dude.
And the reason why is because a lot of I don't party. I don't do any of those things. So it's not really beneficial to me to be surrounding myself with people who aren't trying to go places where I'm trying to go. I sent you a text. I remember on Instagram that I told you I want to be on Forbes 30 under 30.
Yep.
So that's still a goal that I'm thinking about every day. With how I'm going to continue to work, continue to stay motivated, but just going to networking events, especially since he's connected to Joe Dunn. Joe Dunn has helped me a lot as well.
Yep.
Connected me with Jared Green, Jared Green's son. He's helped me a lot as well. So I've taken advantage of opportunities that I have that a lot of people wish they had.
Yep.
Just being extremely grateful for it.
You're developing the relationships, and that's another key factor that a lot of people take a lifetime to figure out. Is anybody can go out and get knowledge on something. But it's, the old adage, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And I didn't realize, it sounds very cliche when you don't function that way. But once you do, you truly see. Like, I'll never forget, there was a buddy of mine had put me on to this one guy. And we were, this is when I was still just a 1 or 2 man operation with my company. Yeah. So I was out in the field doing all the filming, editing, and all that stuff still. And he put me on to one of his homies. And this guy was doing... he was making content for the Arizona Cardinals and the Green Bay Packers. And I'm looking at him, and I studied this guy's social. I was zooming in on pictures because I want to see what gear he was using. Me and that guy were the same age. We used the exact same equipment.
Wow.
Like, at the time, it was a Panasonic GH5. Same equipment, same lenses. Like, I was studying what this guy was doing. And we're the exact same age. And the edits that he was doing, the filming, it was nothing that I couldn't do at the same level, if not better. But because this dude had the connections, he was the one getting the opportunities. So, and it sounds like, and especially from what I've seen from you in my dealings with you, is that you don't walk into a room expecting something from someone. You walk into a room saying, how can I serve you? Because a lot of people, it's one of those things where, like, if you want an investment for your company, you don't ask for the money, you ask for the advice.
Exactly.
And 9 times out of 10, like, that person that you're talking to, they may be an ideal investor for you. But if you flat out ask them, like, hey, I need your cash for this versus the advice, then that conversation begins to go a different way. You said something about your mom in terms of, like, flipping properties. Are your parents entrepreneurs as well, too?
I guess my mom is in her own right. She kind of strayed away from that now, but it kind of molded me into something I want to do. You know, once I get the cash flow to start doing that, because again, I remember I won a game in Monopoly, and after that, like, even my mom, like, I don't play Monopoly anymore because I've already won. So it's like I'm like, and it takes so long. We got this Monopoly cards now. There's cards now, so it's a lot faster, but. The reason I wanted to touch on that is because that's what it's about. You know, if you don't own it, like, you want to own as much as you can. But I also, for me, faith has become super important for me. That's allowed me to become super balanced. So I'm not really, you know, again, like, money's cool to me, but it's not something that I idolize. It's kind of something that I'm gonna use as a resource to either impact, you know, obviously to impact people's lives, but even give back to my family because they've poured in so much to me. So
absolutely. And even though, like, this whole show and my being is around entrepreneurship, like, I like to remind people, we're not telling everybody needs to be an entrepreneur.
Exactly.
The majority of people should not be entrepreneurs. There are a lot of people that go out and start a business that have no business, you know, doing that. It's about finding that vehicle, and like what you mentioned in terms of money. Like, once you start to realize that it's literally just a tool, like, these are just numbers that we're playing with, and you're taking numbers and putting it over here. We're taking numbers from this person and putting it over to this person. Like, you're just shifting resources around. Yeah. But when you get to the core of that and you realize, like, freedom is the goal.
Exactly.
It's just like, okay, in order to be free for real, you have to have a certain amount of wealth in order to do that. So, man, you just got the things you were saying, man. I'm like,
somebody I do watch, he's a Christian entrepreneur, is Myron Golden.
Myron is my guy.
Yeah, I watch him all the time. He just gives so much insight.
So give us your top 3 influencers in the world of entrepreneurship and business. Who are your top 3 that you think?
Myron Golden is probably number 1.
Actually, give me your Mount Rushmore. So give me 4.
4. Okay. So the School of Hard Knocks, just because he invites so many people who are just. And he's like probably like 23, so he's a young guy, so he's easy to watch. I would also say I would say Gary Vee because I love his mentality.
Gary's on a whole new track. So let me pause right there, because the whole reason this company exists is because of Gary Vee.
Yeah,
like, he has no idea. One day I'll meet this brother and I don't need to meet him at a meet and greet. I need to sit down and have a meal with this brother and break bread. And that will come at one point. Yeah. But I built all of my social media knowledge and understanding came from absorbing his content nonstop. And for a period, you know, he just started to be repetitive with this content and what he was saying. And I was like, I'm one of those ones. I'm not just keep following and engaging with somebody just because I like them. Like, if I'm not getting anything else from it, love him. Phenomenal business guy. Now he's kind of been on a whole new path in terms of, like, I'm hearing new stuff from him now. And I'm like, okay, this is what I needed from Gary. So Gary is that dude. He's a godfather of social media.
So, yeah, those are 2. Number 3, I mean, honestly, I can't even put him in order, but Alex Ramonzi. Yeah. I love just his mentality.
That guy is insanely smart.
Yes.
Like, the way he breaks down systems and, like, his sales process and, like, you know, his coaching programs, and, like, even the thing he did with the book where, like, he had the most book sales in history, like, in a 24-hour period or something like that, because he had these campaigns going on social media. Like, the guy's just a genius. And then just the hustle and grit from somebody like that.
Who is my fourth?
Is it Myron Gold?
What'd you say?
You said, is it Myron?
I would put Myron up there.
Okay.
It would probably, honestly, I love watching Shark Tank, so it'd have to be one of those sharks. I think Damon's really good.
Damon's a man.
So, or, like, honestly, like, anybody on that shirt, any of those people, they're beasts and they're killers at what they do.
I mean, Mark Cuban, well, he's no longer a shark. Obviously, he has the most knowledge and expertise as a business guy in that sector. But yeah, those are all good ones. All right, now let's talk about the vehicle that you have. So,
course.
number one, I tell people, I feel like just about every day, stop running from AI. It's not going anywhere. It is here. It is here to stay. I'll say the same thing about Bitcoin. Bitcoin, cryptocurrency is not going anywhere. Embrace the changes. Right now, this is a moment in history where people can choose to be Blockbuster or Netflix. Don't end up on the wrong side of the history. So knowing that you're in that tech AI space, what first prompted this path and like you saying this is something I want to attack?
The first, I would probably say, at first I was not interested. I was not interested. I didn't even really think about doing an automation or agency. It was kind of my co-founder, shout out Jordan. He's an AI consultant himself, so he has the experience and he's super smart. But also again, like what I mentioned earlier, sales, right? And that's something he wasn't necessarily interested in doing. You know, he loves building the product, but he's not interested in going out there and being the voice and selling it.
Yep.
So I just knew after our conversation, like this is us. And we had a discussion because when I met him in Porto a couple years back, and our conversation, we were reading Rich Dad Poor Dad. I was actually
That's the book that changed my life.
Yeah. So we were reading that book. We were reading at the same time, which is crazy, and we just kind of like talked about it, and then we started just exchanging contacts, stayed in touch, and then it was pretty much the last couple months we said we're gonna dial in on it, and it's been super fun. Like I enjoy it so much, and just the ability to be able to work from your computer, you know, that's a blessing.
That's the freedom aspect. Like I've told my team here, we're still in the process of getting this right. But systems have been my theme in this business for probably at least the last 6 months, because I want to look at my team, well, depending on the position that they're in. Obviously, videographers, I need them here locally and boots on the ground. But like my social media managers and like strategists and people like that, I don't care if you're Miami, Florida, Portugal, Japan. As long as you have an internet connection and your laptop and you can get stuff done, I don't care where you are in the world. As long as we're providing the service we need to at a high level,
exactly,
you can go anywhere you want.
Yeah.
So it's genius to go into that sector. I normally save this question at the end, but I want to ask you, so first of all, how long have you guys had the business now?
So he had it for a while, but he wasn't necessarily doing anything with it. Yeah. So we would probably say it's fairly new, so like 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a newer.
So in that 3 month, that's what I want to dissect with you. Yeah. In that 3 months, my first question to you is, what was the most difficult thing for you in this 3 month process? Because you go into the idea of owning a business and you think it's going to be this or that this is going to go smooth and what was the thing that like threw you off? Like, oh man, did I make a mistake becoming an entrepreneur?
I would probably say just the communication, because he's still in Europe. Yeah. So that was probably the communication aspect, and then finding.
So he's like 4 hours ahead or 4 hours behind.
I think he might be 6 hours or something like that, or 7. It's a different. But I'd probably say communicating, and then also not knowing how to sell it. You know, I like sales, and then I was still at the beginning. I was thinking about how am I going to sell this product. So pretty much finding an identity, and I guess the thing I found was I think warm leads. That was super good, but also sometimes you gotta sell something for free.
Yeah.
And for an example is like partnering up with like a marketing agency, right? Who are getting leads. Oh, you could guys cut out a deal together. So just figuring out which strategy you're gonna do.
Yep.
But also continue to hone in and also believe, because there's some times where I think everybody expects to make money like right away, and if they don't see a result like within a week, some people it's crazy.
I tell people, if you're not willing to not get paid for at least 3 years, don't even bother.
Exactly. And I mean, our mindset is what we get, we're trying to put back into the business. So it's more right now, we're not even trying to take it out, but just keep putting in, just build, you know, because we're builders. Like we see, like how you see money, it's just a tool, right?
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, we're just trying to make an empire for real. So
that's it. And like again, coming to the realization that you have at your age, like, you know, earlier on when I was probably your age or in my 20s, I was like, you know, I had my dream board and it was like, here's the mansion, here's the Ferrari and all that kind of stuff. And then you get to a certain point, you get a little success and you realize how little that stuff means. Like, dude, a car is just something to get you from point A to point B.
Exactly.
Now, at some point in my life, I can promise you I'm going to have that Sunday driving car, like something slick that's going to cost a little over a 100 stacks or something like that. But like that, and I don't even want to put that out on Front Street. Yeah. But you realize, like, man, these are not the things that are important. Like, it's the time with my family. It's the freedom. It's the ability to go. Like, for me, I still don't label myself as a success, even though some people may look at me that way. Yeah. For me, one of the metrics in my mind is when I have the ability to golf 3 times a week, I've made it.
There you go.
At a certain level in my head. Because then I have the time. That means I have a business that's operating and self-sufficient without me being present all the time. Yeah. I'm able to do something I love continuously every single week. Like, what else do you want out of life but to do the things you want to do when you want to do them? Yeah.
No, that's really good. Yeah, I mean, to your point, I did have the vision board as well, right? Mm-hmm. Having a nice mansion.
Which don't get me wrong, I got champagne taste. I like nice stuff.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, for me, it's like having like the G-Wagon. Even like I talked to one of my friends the other day, and I was talking to him about like I want maybe soon to get like an AMG Mercedes, and then I came to realization. I'm like I don't really like the car I have right now. It's fine. It works fine. It gets me where I want to go. Mm-hmm. And why should I put that, I guess, pressure on myself? But also, why not start investing in like real estate?
Yeah.
Start doing that. Where we're in a time period where if you are starting to invest in real estate, it's a great opportunity. Because again, like even though you should adapt to AI, we don't know where AI is going to take. Yeah. So I think this is a great opportunity for a lot of people to invest into real estate. Mm-hmm. So yeah, like even that, like it's cool. Cars, like obviously those are still like I have a dream for that, but it's more again like you're trying to make generational wealth. You're not trying to just
Yeah, that mindset shift of like, because I got to the point. This is probably when I was like maybe 32, 33, where it was like, yeah, I want to go out and I want to get the G-Wagon. I want to do X, Y, and Z, but I don't want to pay for it myself. Yeah. Let me find an asset that's going to pay me, and then I'll take the proceeds from that, and I'll go buy what it is I want.
Exactly.
But 9 times out of 10, when I've talked to somebody who got something brand new, like I just got a new car recently. Yeah. It was actually, let me clear this up right now. The car I had prior to this was more expensive. Wow. I was looking at Tesla. I made the decision that I wanted to go EV. I was about to get the brand new one. Something stopped me and said, man, why are you buying a brand new vehicle? Because I did it before during the COVID bubble, and that was the only time in history where a brand new car was cheaper than a used car. Yeah. So it only made sense for us to buy new at that time and get the warranties and all that stuff. But my Volkswagen Tiguan, I had spent $42K on that, and that's even a lesson in itself. I got the Tiguan because originally I was looking at an Audi, and then once I looked under the hood and I got into the details of it, exact same car. Yeah. Same infotainment system, same everything. The only difference was the logo.
Exactly.
So I was like, why would I pay another $30,000 just to have the logo and keep the same car? All right, cool. I'm not doing that. Yeah. Got the $42,000 Tiguan. I was ready to make a change. I had it for 4 or 5 years. There were some little things with the car that were starting to piss me off. And once I decided to go use Tesla, I got my Tesla for the sale price on that car was $26,000.
Wow. That's amazing.
I went from a $42,000 car to a $26,000 car, and I feel like I got a massive upgrade. Yeah. Like I'm a tech guy, and it's exactly what I wanted. But like once you take out the piece of you're trying to impress people, because what I've learned is that a lot of guys who want to go out and get the BMW, the Mercedes, they're not even car guys. They don't specifically love BMW, love Mercedes. They love the reaction that it incites from other people when they roll up. Yeah. But once you get to a point in your life where like, and I'm gonna cuss right here, I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks about me. I don't. Yeah. I don't care. The only opinions of people that matter to me are very small number of people that are tight in my circle. My wife, my mom, and my kids. Other than that, you ain't paying no bills for me. You ain't taking me to the next level. You ain't doing it. So why would I put that much value in your opinion of me and how I'm moving? But once, to me, that was the most freeing thing ever. Once I mentally got to that point where I understood it doesn't matter what other people think, because no matter what I do, I'm going to piss somebody off. Exactly. Like, I always use the example of like, you could leave here and you go drive and like some truck got tipped over and it had all these puppies in it. You could be on the side of the road scooping up puppies, saving their lives. somebody, and then you post it on social media or something. Somebody's gonna look at that post like, who he think he is? Mr. Do Good out here saving puppies? He think he all high and mighty? Da, da, da. You're never gonna please everybody. So why put so much effort and stock in what other people are thinking?
Yeah.
But it seems like you've already got it.
I think also for me, what I learned and I started to appreciate is what you were talking about, but also me being in rooms with people that have those things, right? And then they have these nice cars, and then I hear the personality, the things that they say, the way they carry themselves.
Yep.
And I'm just like, I ask myself, what is more important? Is it cool to have a car, or is it cool to be super mature?
Yeah.
Have actually a good relationship with my family, friends, holding things, holding it down. Yep. Or is it cool to just impress somebody for 5 seconds? And after that, you probably never see that person again.
Exactly.
So there's no point for me, if you did it, I'm not hating if you want to get a nice car, go ahead. But I'm just saying, for me personally, now, I'm building. So I don't really need a nice car right now.
Yeah, no judgment on anybody that's out there doing that, because I'm sure somebody looked at me like, "Why you gotta have a Tesla?"
I mean, I think a Tesla for me, that'd be a car I'd get for sure, because those are.
Dude, they're so dope.
They're like, these seem like a luxury car. A couple of years ago, we rented one for like 24 hours.
Yeah.
And I was just out there playing with it. I was like, yo,
it's insane. It's such a fun car. But, like having that mentality, man, is such a game changer. Being in the AI space, not specifically to your industry, a lot of people have questions about where AI is going, what's going to happen with this. I don't think I've publicly said this yet. AI, number one, I think is going to for sure change social media. So a lot of people are unaware, and I was unaware until a few weeks ago. There's actually a social media platform out there right now that only operates with AI. Wow. So it's AI bots talking to each other, posting and everything, and humans aren't allowed to interact. We're only able to observe.
It's kind of freaky.
Yeah, and apparently, they've come up with their own religion. And then at one point, one bot said to the other, "Hey, do you think we should make our own language so the humans don't know what we're talking about?" And then one bot shut it down, "Nah, they're going to see that as suspicious, and they'll cut the plug or whatever." I see the benefits of that too, because it's going to do a couple different things. Number one, I don't think AI is going to eliminate all the jobs. Everybody freaks out anytime massive new tech comes out. They did it when the internet came out. They did it when Henry Ford started mass producing vehicles. No, people will get new jobs just using AI as a tool. It's going to eliminate some jobs,
exactly,
but it's not going to make everybody unemployed. So for you in the space that you're in, maybe give us your top 2 or 3 things where you see AI is going to take us to the next level. And it could be in the music space. It could be anything.
We had a conversation with a couple of weeks ago, and you were talking about making videos so fast. Mm-hmm. So just being more efficient in that area. But I would also just say, probably for me, sometimes with my homework, I actually use ChatGPT to explain something like you're talking to the dumbest person ever. Mm-hmm. So just the way you learn. I think that, so those 2, and then the third one, I would probably just say, how do you, I think even becoming entrepreneurship is going to be much easier.
Yeah.
And funny thing, right now I'm also in the works of developing an app as well to help that.
Nice.
So just, I think that figuring out what you are good at and your skills, I think that's just going to help as well. So you can just pretty much cruise in, start building things, and stop worrying about paying for tons of money on courses and stuff.
Yeah. I love that. What are some of your favorite AI tools right now?
Probably ChatGPT. I know Google has on Gemini. Mm-hmm. I use Gemini as just as good.
So I really haven't delved into Gemini a lot. Between the 2, ChatGPT and Gemini, which one do you prefer, and why?
I think out of those 2, I would even put in the third, and it's, we use it all the time. I'm blanking on the name. There's one that gives you better information more accurately. I think ChatGPT is good, but there is a block where you have to pay, where they get you, You're using this, so you're going to pay this much.
Oh, I've been paying for a minute.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this technology is too good. That's the best $20 a month I've ever spent.
So as accurate as it gets, it's probably, I would say ChatGPT, but Gemini is just as good, especially with the features of you can just take a picture.
Yeah.
Because I think ChatGPT, if you're not paying for it, you only get a couple pictures.
Yeah.
So I'd probably say Gemini. I think all of them just have different reasons why they're better than the other person. I don't really have one that's just top level for me.
Gotcha. Paint a picture for us. It's what year is this now? 2026.
Yes.
Let's say 2031. What does your life look like?
That's a good question. I would probably, again, I hope Forbes 30 under 30. I hope I get that. But also my just impacting, changing, giving people opportunities because I was given an opportunity.
Yeah.
So investing probably into like the younger generation, because I believe that I think a lot of us are actually entrepreneurs, but we don't actually give ourselves opportunities to explore that path.
Yeah.
Because there's just an expectation, which I think school is very important, but I think there's also the flexibility, especially online. I hope my kids, when I do that, they go to online school.
Yeah.
And I can pretty much teach them all the business aspects that I want them to learn. So I hope that I would hope, I hope, because I want to get my mom a beach house.
Nice.
So that's one of my goals. So I hope I've done that, achieved that goal, but also just settle down. I'm not really too big on, partying and stuff, so I'll probably just settle down. Hopefully get closer to buying some land. I want to have some land and build a house.
There you go.
But yeah, I don't really have like that. That's so far ahead, and I like to stay in the present.
Yep.
But those are a couple things. Hopefully, just even having a nice car. I don't exactly know what car I'd want, but just looking back, being able to look back, knowing that I used most of my 20s. I still would be in my 20s, but used at least most of them to work hard.
Build, yeah.
To build, and then continue to build. Be an example. I really want to also become like a speaker as well. So just going places and speaking, not just business, but just faith-wise as well, because that's something that has completely changed my life, created the discipline, allowed me to even discern like what people who I hang out with, just who deserves my energy, who deserves that. And I hope our agency is big, where we have, we're right now we want to get a third person, just a tech person, but even much bigger than that, maybe like 5 to 10 people.
Yeah.
And I started another business. I'm trying to buy a boomer business as well, so that's something I hope I do by then as well.
Nice. That's a smart play, is like buying an existing business and not have to build it from the ground up. And you nailed it there, man. 20s is for grinding. And I'm not saying don't have fun. Definitely have fun. But your 20s is for grinding. You're supposed to be broke in your 20s. Everybody has this, because you have guys like School of Hard Knocks where like you got some unicorns out there, guys at 22 years old that are making $10 million a year. That is not the norm. That's the 1% of the 1%. At that age bracket, you typically do not see that. Yeah. 30s is where you get yourself more established in a career. And 40s is where you really start to see the wealth building aspect of that.
Yeah.
But most people don't look at it like that. They don't realize, hey, I need to put in strong effort for the next 20 years to make my life what I want it to be.
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorite quotes from the School of Hard Knocks is, "Stay small enough long enough, you get big enough soon enough." So that's something, that quote has stayed with me every day. I think about that. I'm not I don't need to have all these nice things right now. Just keep it as clean as it can, and then there's an opportunity. Cool, you can do that, but right now that's not really necessary. Go invest in real estate. Go even invest in education. I honestly, there's so much wisdom out there within people that's actually worth paying for. Even going to
1,000%.
Going to like events. I want to start like I went to one. There's one with Tim Tebow and other business people. That was actually at the Altria that I went to. I was super glad I paid to go there, right? James Smith, you can look him up. He does. I think he's a wholesaler for real estate, but he's done extremely well for himself. And I learned about real estate from there. So just the ability to invest within yourself and even bet on yourself, because a lot of people my age don't like that, like the idea of betting on themselves and taking risks. But I'm more like, I feel like right now you should be taking risks.
This is the time in your life to take as much risk
You're
as
on your
humanly
parents. You're on
possible.
your parents' roof. Like go build
Exactly.
something. If it messes up, oh well. All right.
Your parents are still paying the insurance. They're going to keep a roof over your head, all this stuff. Mess up as much as you can. When I say mess up as much as you can, if you have an idea for 10 different businesses, go start them all now.
Yeah.
Because number one, at your age, you have the energy.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
You figured out ways to create more time throughout the day than most of your peers.
Exactly.
Like they're stuck in school for 8 hours a day. You're getting your work done in 2-3 hours, and you're able to do what you need to do.
Exactly.
That right there is such a key, man. And paying to be in certain rooms. Like it took me a while to understand that concept too of like, man, why am I going to pay this dude $100 like just to talk or go to this dinner or have this conversation? But the conversations that are happening at those tables aren't happening anywhere else.
I mean, like I've seen some of those. Like he's expensive to be.
He's like $1 million.
Yeah.
Like I heard him drop one time. It was like, hey, if you want to work with me, it's going to cost you at least $1 million.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't imagine being at the level where just for flapping my gums, somebody's going to stroke me a check for 7 figures.
Yeah,
that's insane.
That's insane.
But I guarantee you, Myron's worth every. He's worth every dime.
I mean, that's where again, like what I tell you, like invest in that, but also invest in yourself. You know, take like if I could tell anybody to just take risks. Like you know, like you're not going to see anything unless you like take the risk. Like even you don't even know if it's going to go well or even go bad. Just like do it. And for me, like I've been able, even investing in the way that you carry yourself, I guess in confidence in the way you communicate. So read, I watch sales videos. I watch people and see how they communicate. Just learning how to. If you learn how to communicate, you can do any business that you want to do.
It's the number one skill set.
And you don't even need to know the skill of that business. If you can communicate, I'm telling you that's the way to success. And I've personally in our business, like that's. Led me to really good conversations and just a bunch of good stuff.
Yeah, life is sales. Like when you're in school, if you get a bad grade on a paper and you're just 2 points away from passing and getting this GPA, like you got to go sell yourself to the professor. Hey man, I'll put in some OT, like I'll do extra projects, like whatever you need me to do. I just need this extra 2 points. Or when you're dating someone for the first time, like you got to sell yourself to that person. You go apply for a job, like whatever it is. You're always selling yourself.
Exactly.
And it's one of the least developed skills, I think, of the average person is that they're not investing time to learn how to communicate. And
then also like when you're young, like I'm single, so just like investing in not just your business but also into yourself, right?
Yes.
Like put yourself in opportunities to meet somebody else, but also find a balance of where you gotta like. To be able to sell yourself, you got to be given something, right? Like especially, I don't think a lot of people my age are emotionally available for people. So understanding that. So just again, like the communication is key, but also investing in your health because that's more important. I believe more important than how much money you make is how healthy you are and how you take care of yourself. The way you eat, the way you think. And
it's not fun being rich and being 150 pounds overweight.
And you really see that. Like there are some guys. I forget his name, but he's another real estate investor guy that I watch on YouTube, and he's a big fella, he's probably the only one that I actually follow.
Yeah,
that's big. Everybody else is in shape. You know, they take their like Robert, from the Shark Tank. He talks about it all the time. Your health is super important. That's the biggest flex of actually having money is being able to invest into your health. Tony Robbins as well. He invests crazy into his health.
Oh yeah. Like I've always looked at it from the perspective of because we got young kids, 5 and 4. But like if my son or my daughter was ever like, my dad's gonna kick your ass type, it's like, oh really, your dad? Like ain't no way in the world. Like I always wanted them to be able to look and be like. I don't have an 8-pack or anything like that, but like, hey, my dad's in shape. Like, he's not one of these ones out here slouching and stuff like that.
I mean, I see you even that's, for me, like, that's the type of feed the people I follow as well. Like, I follow you on social media and seeing you up early in the morning. I'm up there as well, and I see you, and it's like, all right, iron sharpens iron, So I don't allow, and I think that's what people do. They get into the competitive, like they think everybody is you versus that person, and it's like it gets tiring.
Yourself.
Yeah, exactly. It gets tiring having that mindset.
Yeah. And
it's not as freeing. But for me personally, I had the mindset of, wow, that person is just challenging me. It's in a healthy way. Even Jordan and I talk about like we're like as business, we're not in competition with anybody.
Yeah.
right? You know, we're gonna sell you something. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, you know, you still want to be a friend, right?
Yeah.
We don't want to burn bridges for just because, you know, business wise, because that's not what it's about. It's about
And I'll say straight on here to give you guys a kudos for what you're doing. And I didn't even I knew you were fairly new in this business, but I didn't even realize it was as little as 3 months.
Yeah.
I met with you and your business partner. Y'all walked me through your model, what you guys could do here for us. Honestly, everything you guys showed me, I was super impressed with. It just wasn't the right fit for us. And it doesn't mean that later on down the road it's not going to be a right fit.
Exactly.
Because I can't tell you how many times a client told me no, and then 3 years later they're back. And it's a much better situation. Like you talked about your faith. Like I fully believe that God brings people into your life at certain points for certain reasons. And my thought process when I'm sitting down, like I had 3 sales calls today. And when I'm done with someone at the end of that, I'm like, look, bro, call me next week. Don't call me. I don't really care. You know what we provide. We're willing to work with you. If you need us, we're here. If not, man, we'll cross paths somewhere else on down the road.
Yeah.
But the ones that have always come back to me, it almost came back tenfold. Where like it was in the early days where like I was charging like $500 a month for something. Now that same thing I may be charging $2,500 for. And they're in a position that they can pay that new tab. They couldn't even mess with me with the old tab before.
Exactly.
So it's like,
for sure.
The stuff you think you may want and that, you know, because as a business owner, it's all about the cash flow. You're just trying to get things ramped up, get the client base, all that kind of stuff. But sometimes the things you think are right for you and your business, God will put those roadblocks up and say, no. And we may look at it on the outside like, man, what's up, man? That would have been the perfect client for me. Like, no.
Exactly.
Like, there are so many things. Like, even the drive over here, oftentimes I just reflect, like, man, how many times did God save my life on the drive here to my office where, like, somebody wasn't paying attention on the road and, like, he flipped that street light from yellow to red real quick so that I wasn't on that block when that accident happened. Like,
Amen. Yeah, exactly. That's a really good perspective that you put out because that's what we believe in, right? We don't believe in like if someone says no, like right away, we don't want to look at it in the negative. Like a lot of people, they get down.
Yeah.
And people hate hearing the word no. But since I've actually been, I did a real estate internship for a little bit, so I was doing a bunch of cold calling. So that was the answer I was familiar with. No.
Yeah.
And when you're cold calling,
yes.
And you're cold calling and you're doing a lot of people each day. You get kind of used to it, but you don't allow it to affect you, right?
Yeah.
And again, like we want to have relationships with people because that's the most important part for us is just having great relationship and communicating well with people.
Yeah.
And like after your message, I called him. I told him, and then even Jordan, like he great mindset. So it's such an honor to have somebody that you're working with that has the same energy as you.
Yep.
When it comes to that, and he was just like, wow, that's okay, you know, like. Not that happens as part of business, and I understand that, right?
Yeah, but I loved your response, your immediate response. I don't know specifically, like I'm paraphrasing here.
Yeah.
Ultimately, you came back to me and said, "Yeah, man, that's cool. But hey, I still want to work with you. I still want to refer services out to you." And my immediate response to you was, "Hey, man, anybody you send me, I'll cut you a check for 20%." And you didn't take that at a surface level. I could see that you really received that because your next question to me was, "Well, who are you trying to target? Who do I need to put you in front of?"
Yeah. Because right now we're working on a product for some real estate agents as well. So that's what we're working on right now, and we have other clients that we are going to probably send you as well.
I'll be happy to coach them checks too, man.
But and that's what it's about. And in our mind is like we understand there's abundance. There's a bunch for everybody. That it's not just this amount of money in this world, and then you have to have it. And that's what the mindset with a lot of business owners is. And that's what we want to change. Our mindset is not going to be like that. We're not going to be like, we're not going to be stingy. We're not going to be all that. Just continue to work.
There is no cap on success.
The other day, I was talking to somebody, and they referred me, to somebody else, and it was just because of our conversation.
Yeah.
And just understanding that they went a different direction, but I'm still gonna give you an opportunity to do something, and they may see it and they'd be like, oh, whoa, let's work with them.
And last thing, like getting back to the biblical principles, like this is the funny thing to me. I'm like, even if someone's not a believer, the business lessons you can get out of the Bible, dude. This is where it all started.
Yes, sir.
Like the Bible talks about all these things about how to build a business, how to create wealth, like, and we got this old, especially in the black churches, where it's you're more of a Christian if you're poor and you're suffering in this world and still able to praise Christ, and then you'll get your reward in heaven. I fully believe I need a reward here and I need a reward there too. Like, there's no reason I should be struggling here. I don't think God put me on this earth to struggle.
Yeah. I'm a huge believer in that as well. But I think there are different ways of struggle. That it may not be necessarily financially, but there's other ways that you do have tough time on earth.
Absolutely.
And I think the mindset that we need to have is, instead of looking at people with money as enemies and stuff, we just got to start looking at ourselves and ask ourselves, why are we hating on that person? Like, even if it isn't about money, like, I don't believe in like hating people. I believe that the words that you say have power. I believe all those type of things. So just putting out positive energy and surround yourself with positive people, but also carrying yourself in that way where, again, like, I've been in Ecclesiastes and Proverbs. Those are my two favorite books, especially on business level.
People been hitting me with Ecclesiastes this week, man. I got to dive in there a little harder.
You should, yeah. I mean, there's some, like, the business wisdom that's in there where he had all the wisdom in the world, but he didn't have discernment. He had all the wives, but he didn't actually feel fulfilled, right? So me knowing, and I guess both of us knowing, that our fulfillment doesn't come from our business, it comes from our relationship with God. Like, that's the most important thing.
Absolutely.
Just have faith and believe that there is something bigger than you, because there is. Even if you don't believe in God, I think there is something that's much bigger than us.
Absolutely.
That we can't really explain.
Dude, I have never been more confident in sitting across someone who's 17 years old that this person's going to make it in life. Like, there is no doubt in my mind that you will find wild success, man. So I want you to throw out your social media channels to everybody, because I'm telling y'all, follow this dude, because you're going to be saying, oh, man, I remember one day when he was doing da-da-da-da-da, and now he's on the top Forbes list.
Yeah, Forbes 30 under 30. We're going to do that.
So put it out there. Where can you find you online?
You can find me on Instagram, Jeremiah Schwartz 0. That's my handle. And you can, even if you got anything, questions, you can DM me. I'll give you, again, a shout. It can even be a phone call. We can talk about whatever you want, even about faith. You know, I'm not gatekeeping anything over here. I want to help people, and that's the most important thing to me. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Thank you, Sam, for having me.
Absolutely, man.
And I hope to be on here again. I think you got to have Jared Green on next.
I'm with it, man.
Get on him.
Let's bring him.
All right, man.
Appreciate you guys. We'll see you on the next episode.